Ave cohort, and we are back for another happy day of doing stuff in DCS. And a new map dropped on Friday, yesterday, for Kola Peninsula. And I'm looking to do a lot of building there. I have a lot of mission ideas really kind of in the pot already for that. So really kind of want to get in and do a little bit of mission building there on that one. Got a lot of stuff that we can look at. And we will get up to some flying today. I'm also kind of buying a little bit of time for Nixon to finish building whatever it is he wants to look at. And we might get up and go do that as well. For now, I've got Trigger in the room hanging out with us today. And we'll unmute here and get that all flipped over so you can see what we're doing with it. I'm actually getting ready to explore an area that I found on the map. So we'll look at that a little bit together. Let's go ahead and get everything flipped over here. And actually going to server info because I'm actually doing mission editing at the moment. Just mask those things for now. Hello, Trigger.
Hello.
All right, so let's go take a peek. This little place that we found. Steep in Russian territory. At least it's got a couple of marker beacons kind of out. Perhaps. Right here. I just got to wait on the textures to load and then we'll zoom in at it and take a peek. I'm also going to advance the time a little bit so the sun's coming up. Okay, that's interesting. You can definitely tell there used to be a base here. But I wonder, and we're going to test it real quick. Harry's probably going to be able to do whatever with it, but morning, Anna. I mostly just want to make sure that the tires aren't going to get like stuck in the mud or anything along those lines.
Hmm.
It's a good place for a rotor farp, though. Nothing else. And I guess maybe a little Harrier base, but it won't let me put the Vig in as a start on ground. I hadn't bound the rebound all these controls for this aircraft yet here. Really nothing.
Parking brake?
Well, I'm not even hearing the engine rev.
Yeah, the parking brake might be on. It should be on the left side, just beside the throttle. Next to the throttle handle, I mean.
Oh,
It's usually like right behind it.
fuel proportioner,
Uh,
manual fuel switch.
it's like hidden behind the stick for the throttle, if I remember correctly.
Morning,
Come
Chief.
down to the right. Up a bit. It's usually around the throttle lever somewhere. That's where I usually find it. Oh, there. I think you were on it.
Left of the throttle.
Your mouse is near it, I know it is.
Oh, I'm sure. Things I do just to test this shit.
There you go. Now you should be able to move the engine.
Again, mostly just looking to see if it even rolls. Okay, it rolls easy. No idea if I can actually put a actual aircraft on it, like a Vigan or something else to land, but it's good to know that it's there. Because I think that's going to be a perfect spot for like a major fart point somewhat close in enemy territory for those objectives. All right, let's get rid of test case there. Such a shame I can't use this base though. It's just too far. Be fine if I was doing something like local in Sweden, like some kind of actual defensive engagement, and put the Vigan actually in a spot where the Vigan is doing what it's supposed to do. Because doing some reading to set arms limits and everything else, the BK-90s were never meant to be used outside of Sweden because they were signatories to the cluster munitions ban. They kind of get around it because they consider the BK-90 to be a sub-munitions dispenser and not a cluster bomb. But it was still never meant to be used outside of Sweden, which was interesting. Okay, so some of what I'm looking to do today while I'm waiting on Nixon to hammer out a little bit of something for some KP fun time is start laying down some of the objectives. I spent most of last night setting down aircraft. I think for the most part I'm going to use this Laksev as the main base because it has both a TACAN and an ILS, which is going to be important for landing in super crappy weather. I did go ahead and use BAS 100 here in Finland. And there is a TACAN beacon placed down for it. So it can be found at night. And here at Rovaniemi, also in Finland, they had an ILS but no TACAN. And I figured this is probably going to be where I put a lot of the other aircraft because it's another large base. But just to give folks an idea of scale, these are the closest bases to one another. And they are 155 miles apart between BAS 100 and Makagorsk. $190 or so from Leksev. So I'm trying to keep things close enough that an F-16 can go up with a good seed loadout and really just like the tank in the bottom or some minor refueling and still be able to get out here, do some station shit, turn around and go back to the base. But this is definitely going to be a place where air refueling is kind of a must. And it's out of my hands for making that reality a thing, you know? So I'll have plenty of support elements on our side. At least 2 AWACSs, one to the north, one to the south. I might even do like 3. You know, have a patrolling E2 out here, kind of to the north, this whole region. And do a couple of E3s, the Air Force, kind of patrolling over Finland. Some of the other features that I've already built into this one is I got this carrier doing this kind of weird little pattern. He's doing 15 knots into the wind for 30 minutes, and then 27 knots away from it to reset. And the reason why I got him doing that kind of a pattern is, you know, the international boundaries and things like 12 nautical miles is nice and all, but I don't want to put the carrier, a very valuable task force related asset, within spitting distance of some, you know, somebody setting up a silkworm site just outside of Russia, well within Russian territory. So I kind of wanted to place it so that the Hornets and Tomcats still have to fly a little bit, but not significantly more than most anybody else. And yeah, as Chief was just saying there in the chat, this is very much a polar region for this map, so Magvar is going to get stupid real quick, especially in aircraft where INS drift is a major factor, and Magvar is important. Like, Jester in the backseat of the Tomcat is going to be doing Magvar resets pretty much all the time, or you're going to have some very bad navigation. Things to think about. One of the other things that we learned too, right now I have the mission start time set to 3:50 in the morning, which is sunrise. Sunrise is in like 5 minutes after mission start. The sun doesn't set until 2300. So it is up for 20 of 24 hours in a day. As it's spring, and I set the time frame for May. And the winds, thanks to Chief, are set for kind of a local, recent in the last couple of days sort of setting for both speed and direction. And since it is the rainy season, we're going for overcast and rain. So it's going to be a lot of learning to use your radar, learning to use GMT. If you need to go visual, you're going to have to get low, and if you get low, that could be a problem. So a lot of multitude of factors kind of going on here for KP Happy Fun Time. But I think what I'd like to do next is go ahead and set up some objectives, and I'm kind of dividing them up into 3 different broad groups. Some of the easy ones I'm kind of looking to do as like a border thing, which are meant to be done with 1 to 2 aircraft. I also need to set up some FARPs, folks, but we can do that pretty easy. A lot of little places out here that would serve. We'll probably be setting up portable TACAN beacons in the Yankee band for rotors to be able to use for what aircraft actually have TACAN that can use it. My hope was that I could use some... None? Oh, alright, well then I won't waste my time with a TACAN beacon. Easy enough. So hoping some of these bases or roadways out here would be useful for a like a forward road base. But, alas, no. From what I can see, there's either too many trees or the road isn't straight enough or a number of other damn things. This is why when I found this out here, looking at these little outer boundary markers, and then I went into the satellite view and went, oh, there's a decommed runway here. This we can probably use as a forward fart. Let me see if there's a portable VOR. It's actually a good idea. TACAN portable. Does it have options for that? No. No, it does not. Big sad. Alright, so if easies are going to be small, my other notes that I have here is that I wanted my medium-sized objective to be dealt with by 3 to 4 aircraft. Ooh, can I put a boat here? High-speed boat. And a harbor tug. Okay. Good news though, we can use actually parts of the river here. Murmansk. There's objective areas, and then there's Polyarny. There's an Alpha class submarine built into the map right there. Might be able to use that for something. And it looks like a lot of these areas are going to be little pockets of stuff. Which is good, because I'm looking at basically doing like light along the border, medium a short distance within. Say short, it's probably another 50-60 miles. And then some of the deep strikes are going to be like around the bases or the towns themselves, or even deeper. Not quite to the zone where it kind of breaks reality and continuity. There are spots here which are not developed. You can easily see those actually if I go to the south. See that harsh line? They've actually put forest and crap, and then not. Okay, I like this little salient here. Oh, but I'm doing light stuff there. Let's go. Let's look for something deeper in. I want to start with the mediums. The mediums are all going to always be up. It's my thought process here. So we'll just start with this little spot. At the top of the list. Oh, okay, I see what happened. See. When I first put the map down, I didn't change it to Cold War factions. Actually, it does mean I need a couple of little changes. Alright, so for this objective... Yeah, I've been doing that a little bit, just to kind of give them a look whenever I find someplace interesting. Radar, Zonka, Ansong track radar. You can chime in if you like, Trigger. It's okay. Oh, he's muted. Okay, so these air-to-ground mediums are going to always be active, so I don't need to make them late activation. Let's go ahead and these guys in a little bit of formation. Give them a couple of other little defenders there. This is, outside of actually building trigger logic, one of the things that take the most time. We're actually looking to build something that can stand the test of boredom. It's placing units by hand. And yeah, you can build templates that can help speed some of it up and just kind of modify them. It's probably something that I need to spend some time doing. Okay. And I think to cover shorter range, drop in a 6. Last but not least, some trucks. So now we got ourselves an SA2 site. It's just always going to be up. Not terribly far from the border. And I'm going to go ahead and change interception range to about 70%. Don't want them shooting their missiles and wasting them at maximum range. Actually, these are known sites. I will let people have them on their MFDs. They are aware of their existence. Arm state is going to be set to red so that they're not going to have the same sort of long delay of kind of waiting to arm their stuff. Kind of already be in that state. I do kind of like the idea of sort of SAM sites forming the core of my always up sites, so I'm going to go ahead and mirror that in a suitable spot down here somewhere. I think, barring other super serious kind of bad things, that's probably going to be a good place. We'll do one in the middle. I should take hidden on map off for the moment, because I do kind of want to check out if these are valid areas for them. Always disquieting with that first texture load. Alright, SAM site number 1. As soon as the textures are loaded. Use that time to just advance the clock a little bit. The sun up. Not bad. Little Shilka deployments. RSA 6 is up and searching. The weather is, of course, classically miserable. This kind of looks like a marsh. These guys are set in. But they're going to have to move. Oh, no, it's... just look marshy from the air. Okay, no, they can stay there then. That should be all right. Not a whole lot of space. Cover. Be interesting. It'll be interesting to attack some of these sites. Just kind of also why I'm using like SA2s is you know, if you can knock the track radars out with a harm, then that should make that a lot easier to either get around or get in and clean up and deal with. So it's this one too. These naming conventions are important. Okay, perfect. So we got 3 SAM sites. They're going to form the core of my always up sort of air defenses. And I'm just going to tab out here real quick and take a look. Problematic, but we will go with that. I think what I'm going to put here in the middle is the air defense. 3. Four. I meant 4. Is a buck site. Get some TELs. Snowdrift. Protect it with a gopher. A single battery Shoka. Set him a bit. These guys in my classic box formation. Makes it interesting for get in and deal with. This one will be hidden on the MFD because it's a much more mobile site. So we would not be as immediately aware when that site is going to be in play. Now the other thing that I want to do is have some air defense unit that are always up as well, because the big thing that I kind of want to avoid with this one, since it's intended to be played with multiple people, is having a bunch of objectives that I can spawn either air or ground threats. I kind of want to have both up at once to kind of give everybody something to do, especially if I'm doing something like arms limiting the Tomcats to dumb bombs and air-to-air weapons. Because actually the dumb bombs, like if I was getting super restrictive, which I'm not because that's just not how we do business, the Tomcats were not actually rated to carry dumb bombs of any kind until 92. Like, it was built in with that capability in the 70s when it was originally designed, but they used it as an interceptor and as a cap aircraft. They never thought of it as a bomber. And it wasn't until the pending retirement of the A6 when the Navy realized, hey, we're losing our big iron bomber here. We need something to replace it. And we got nothing in the pipe. Nothing in the pipe that's going to be done before the jet retires. So they went with, well, we got this Tomcat. It's got a lot of space. In theory, it can carry bombs. Okay. So as far as our patrolling aircraft go... Oh, sorry to hear that, Anna. I think we will go ahead and use some MiG-29s as our primary sort of air-to-air medium. Okay, yeah, there we go. Instead of ERs, though, it's going to go with Rs and Ts. And 73s. That's going to be our standard fighter there. One radar missile. And, 5 infrared seekers. Make it a pair of aircraft, so it's not super stressful. We'll get rid of that cap tasking, because as we learned from previous streams with me, that cap tasking will make them fly around and fight literally anything at any point, rather than being focused on one zone. We're going to perform command unlimited fuel, so I want them to always be up and not just quit and go home because they ran out of gas. That said, though, you put enough holes in the aircraft, they will lose their fuel and have to go home or punch out or anything else like that, so not a complete death knell on that one. And we will give them the new task of search and engage in zone. Move helicopters. Give it a nice little spread for their patrol area, which will very neatly overlap with some of that area. He will have a wingman, so of course we're going to also give him formation that's a little cooler than a wide separation. Kind of want to make sure that they don't actually cross the border, so let's go ahead and give him that waypoint first, and send him back to 1. All right, I'll move them up here real quick. Appreciate letting me know in chat, because again, for those who may not be in the know, if I'm in streamer mode, I can't actually hear any of the chirps from receiving messages in Discord and that kind of thing. Well, appreciate that. Welcome back.
Hello again.
Now with 100% more British internets.
I checked the log on my phone and the modem did a quick update.
That makes sense. All right, so we're going to go and put another group here. Their cap circle down to here. Fiddle with their waypoints real quick. Same sort of deal. And we'll southern point. Now, one of the things that I am thinking of the possibility of doing is give each of these guys a triggered action to change their actual tasking from search, engage, and zone to cap. Because my thought is, you know, if people actually genuinely go out and cross the border, they should probably go full ham rather than be restricted to just their search zone. Because as it stands right now, these guys will come out through here and they will run their patrol, but they are only concerned about aircraft that actually enter the circle. So if you were to, say, take off from Bass 100, fly down here, and then start crossing north, they might start tracking you from here to here and give you chase. And then as you leave the zone, they will go back and ignore you and will return to whatever waypoint they were flying towards. It's kind of a way to be a little exploitive of the system, but I think at the same time that's not the worst idea either, because then I don't have to spend the unit count in building a whole hell of a lot of actual SAM defenses for these bases. I can kind of keep it a little minimalized and spend that unit cap instead on more crap in the zone. That will take care of our medium-sized tasks, but I need to put some more Blue 4 assets in play. So let's go ahead and do that while thinking about it. Take off from ramp, because I like having them actually come off the boat. Gives people who connect to the server early a little bit of something to stare at. And we'll name him Focus. He will be on 267. All right, here's a big one for the cola factoid, especially because it does kind of pertain to the Cold War itself, and that is the Kola Peninsula is where we thought the air war, if it was going to be fought, if the Cold War went hot, this is where the air war was going to be fought. There are numerous places on the peninsula that are strategically important, such as the submarine pens at Polyarny, Murmansk, the head of the North Seas Fleet, missile silos, sand batteries. A lot of resources are right up here. And for a long time, really kind of always had been. Some of the older games, like Microprose's F-19, the stealth fighter game, the Cold War hardest map that you could fly on was right here in Murmansk Oblast in the Kola Peninsula. This was the Fulda Gap of the air war that we thought. And a lot of the reasons for it was, you'd have submarines that are out here patrolling under the ice to the north, trying to keep tabs on the Russian boats that are up this way. Because with the Gulf Stream and everything else, this is actually a port that is mostly open most of the year, which makes it very strategically valuable. But our bombers that we would have on like strategic air command patrols back before we transitioned over to ballistic missile submarines and ICBMs as our primary MAD deterrent, we'd have B-52s patrolling all through here. Some would be cruising here across the polar area, some would be cruising a little lower, but a lot of the great circle routes, which are the shortest distances on a sphere between point A and point B, would lead right through this zone on the way to Moscow, which is down here a short distance, just off the bottom edge of the map there. So yeah, if there was going to be a fight, this was going to be the Fulda Gap of the air war. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of us have been very excited for this map to come out in particular, because there's a lot of folks, especially the younger crowd, where their big deal is like Operation Iraqi Freedom, the war in Afghanistan, a lot of places in the Middle East that are typically brown. And we have a lot of those maps in DCS. We have a lot of maps that are desertscapes. Very few of them that are kind of green and lush, or have any kind of a need for camouflage that isn't desert based or gray. And KP is a good map that follows in line in that green region. So that's kind of nice too. Have just a different color scheme, and we should be getting, at least if they're on time, if Orbix is on time with their release, a winter texture by June, which will be fun. All right, so our always up medium objectives are on. I had coffee. I'd literally just finished it, so I'm gonna have to go grab another cup here in just a minute or two. Really kind of trying to buy Nixon about 45 minutes. He said about 10:30 that that mission should be ready to roll, and we can get up and fly it. Be fun. Alright, so what I need next is some of the objectives that are actually going to be spawned through mission triggers. No, I was building Blue 4 shit. That's what I was doing. I got distracted. I had to talk about other things. The lake in the bottom center, I believe, is part of a sea somewhere. Let's see if it actually has a label on it. Gulf. Let me actually consult a map here. Look. Do, do, do. That is the Gulf. I'm probably going to mispronounce it. I'm very sorry if I do. The Gulf of Bothnia that borders the Baltic Sea. It's the space between Finland and Sweden. Like if you're looking at an overall map of Scandinavia, we're just getting the northern edge of that cup. It eventually bleeds into the Baltic Sea. Before I get lost again. Oh. Take off and fly to here at 500 feet. GL. 300 knots. And then under the protection of the Aegis cruisers, is up to 35,000 feet. Oh, right, I gotta set back to barrel. 25,000 feet at maximum airspeed. Give him orbit. This racetrack. Got unlimited fuel on. Now I'm going to go ahead and also make them invisible and immortal so that they don't just get bodied by whatever aircraft happens to stumble up that way. Alright, and then we need fueling aircraft here, which will be an S-3B tanker. We'll make it a Theodore Roosevelt tanker. Folks who have Fear the Bones as a campaign will probably see a little bit better stuff on the boat because the Tomcat skins that I'm using are coming from the Fear the Bones campaign, which also takes place in the Theodore Roosevelt. That is era appropriate here in 1989. Take off from ramp. GL, 300 knots. Oh, let me check the weather real quick. Rains overcast 3 to 15. So 6,000 feet shouldn't be awful, but we will double check that to make sure he is literally not flying through a cloud. Since he's at lower altitude, he will go ahead and be a little bit slower. At Mach 0.5, so that way the Hornets can take care and get up to him real quick. And give him the call sign Bloodhound on 254. Yankee Band, 71 Yankee. Perform task, recovery tanker. Follow to the last waypoint. Give him all the gas. Likewise, invisible. Immortal. So now I should have 2 AI aircraft that take off more or less from the beginning. Got the recovery tanker that's going to be doing circles over the boat. And the AWACS that will be covering that northern. Now, since I don't want to crowd these actual runways with aircraft, the Air Force birds, flying a little different. It's going to start them in the air. Single lot ATC AWACS, it will be an E3 on 266. Put NATO colors. Fuel. Visible Immortal. I do plan at some point to take away Invisible and Immortal for our AWACSs. Once I see how this mission's actually running and making sure that things aren't overrunning their patrol points and that kind of nonsense. Because I feel like they should be vulnerable, and that would make for a fine mission objective. To have to defend your own AWACSs from an actual attack. Have you be their escort and that kind of thing. Right there. Okay, he can cover most of the zone from there. Good. Form task, orbit. 130 knots, racetrack pattern. So he will now just go back and forth right there. Now, seeing as these guys actually have this space where they will come out and fight, I'm going to go ahead and put the tanker group to the north, right in here, I think. It's outside of the reach of that SAM, it's outside of the reach of that SAM, but not detection range. It's kind of a good sweet spot. See how fast they're going. Indicated airspeed here in a bit once we get this set up. I guess I can only assign one radio frequency to them both. Maybe. Maybe I might be able to finagle it. About a 20-mile track. That's about all I want for it. Two aircraft in the group. Hey, Zero. Activate TACAN. 12 X-ray. He is going to be... I can swing at 254. You know me, I usually do DCS Saturday mornings at much earlier in the day because I'm not at work. Let's see. Set option, I believe. Nope, 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 nope. Perform command. Set frequency for unit. Here we go. Here we go. Yes. Now you can call specific tankers. I don't know what the wattage on that one is, so we're just going to go with 100 watts. I don't know what kind of range it's going to give us, but in theory you should be able to get close enough to the tanker first and then call in on the radio. But that gives me two tankers for boom flying in this route together. I think the other thing I'm going to do is change their formation to line abreast. And we'll leave it open. Nice, yeah, those are good classic games. Our other sweet spot for a tanker is going to be right here. So I just drop that one in there. Modify some of their options a little bit. Text go 2-1 and 2-2. No, I should probably make them not Air Micronesia. Really need imitation civilian aircraft flying up there. him going to be 256, 14 X-ray. Down on 13, it's not that one I'm going to modify, it's this one. 14 X-ray. 2 for nickname, 14 X-ray. Set frequency for unit, 56. Bippity boop. Also going to be a good spot for our second AWACS, or third AWACS rather. Second E3. So in NATO colors. Put him on 268. Magic, our primary AWACS. Focus is the Navy AWACS. We'll use Dark Star. It's AWACS number 3. All the gas so it doesn't go home. Make him invisible so he doesn't get shot. Immortals go if something happens, he doesn't die. And give him an orbit. Alright, so we got our boom tankers up. And we have a recovery tanker near the boat, because the Hornets might actually need it. The Tomcat might actually need it. So in the same refueling area, with 1,000-foot separation, it's down to 16,500 feet. Moving along a little slower at Mach 0.65. Again, so the Hornets can catch it reasonably easily. Put that on the Yankee band. Actually set them up for the Yankee band. I don't keep clicking into the box and spend all day trying to go back between X-ray and Yankee. Same thing. Unlimited fuel. Invisible. Immortal. I'm a waypoint. 2. And an orbit he can believe in. Now the fun part for him is, since he's an MPRS and can refuel more than one aircraft at a time, I'm not going to be giving them an extra aircraft. as they can refuel in pairs, just like the two booms can do it. At the moment, we're building on a new map because the Kola Peninsula map was released for DCS yesterday. So I'm doing a little bit of mission work, buying time for somebody else who is actually in the process of building a mission for us to fly on. And then we'll go fly on that once he's ready to go. So it's a little bit of stuff. I'm actually building a circa 1989 threat environment for this one. It's going to be hopefully one of the primary missions we fly. So I got to have a lot of extra things in it to do. So at the moment, I'm just doing a lot of setting up and making sure that things are good and really kind of playing with the new map and see what kind of areas it has to offer for us. Which is less exciting, I know, but necessary in some ways if we're going to have better things going forward. Hopefully you caught that in the ad break. If you didn't, let me know and I'll go back through it again. This is going to be Arco 2-1. I'm on 236. Yankee. Okay. Yeah, new map, new stuff to build, and should have a mission here that we're flying here soon. Not this one, because this one's got a lot of work that's got to go into it, but a friend of mine is putting one together right now as we're talking, and once it is ready to go, we'll be able to get up on it and fly around. Said though, it's a lot of watching the the bones on the ground rather, building a mission from the ground up. All right, so now that we got our Blue 4 fighters and not fighters rather, but our support aircraft in place, let's go ahead and make sure that the tankers especially are not flying in the clouds. And then I might take a very short break to make myself another cup of coffee. As somebody drank all of mine. It's probably me. It's definitely me. Still with us there, Trigger? Well, he's in Discord at any rate. There you are.
There we go. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just changing things.
I definitely recommend changing your pants with some degree of regularity. Okay. Got our tankers. Perfect. Perfect. They are cruising in between the cloud layers. That's what I wanted. Good, good, good. Sometimes you just gotta actually get into it to see what they're doing and how. But it did remind me that I wanted to change. Go the E2. Also to one of the Fear the Bones Theodore Roosevelt skins. I like setting up the flight groups for the boats that they're on. It's one of the things that makes me sad is that we've got aircraft that have skins for like the USS America or the Kitty Hawk or Midway, and I have none of those carriers in the game. I really can't fake it with Forrestal. Okay, so we have our always up objectives. Now I need to try and build some rotor farps. That they can have some participation in these things. No, I might actually make some of these order objectives really where the rotors can shine. I'm going to have little spots like this that are going to be perfect for a little farp. Alright, is this going to be enough spots? That's my next question. Alright, let's see. All right, so I have to make this an A model Apache. Boop. Tanks are fine, guns fine. Not going to worry so much about the various types of rocket. Really kind of depends on how the beans are prepared. And since I usually mess this one up at least the first time, semi-active laser homing was the actual variant, so I need kilos and not limas. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Fuel tanks, rockets. And no longbow radar. I don't even have to check this box. Hey, bestiary. And we'll put a pair of Apaches. Thanks for reminding me, bestiary. Really did. I was drinking coffee. My cup is empty, and I need to go fix that. So I'm going to go get another cup of coffee, and I'll be right back. Okay, I return with coffee. Alright, let's see, where was I? I was setting up Mr. Mapache and the AH-24F Paiute. It's not awful, but it's not green enough, I think. So we're going to go with this for the default coloring at least. Ooh, no, I like that one better. Something Blucher can be proud of. Alright, so payload restrictions. Let's go double check real quick when some of these were introduced. In service, 1985 to present. Nixon will be quite pleased that he can actually use the 18-9s. Take the AC-6s off. I think the Spiral 2s might be too new. Really, what's the Golden Glove about? Actually, it might be better when I go look that one up on my own, rather than have it prattling about their stream there. M120F introduction date. Successor to the Sturm, which was introduced in the late 70s. Looks like they were introduced at the same time. All right, so we'll leave those on. I would believe it. You know, we got weird things that happened around these parts. Well, I say these parts, it's not far removed from it, but like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and things like that. So yeah, a lot of interesting horror movie type stuff. R60s can stay, S24s can stay. Really, it's just a matter of pulling obsolete equipment out. Which I did by removing the AT6s. Hind is a simple aircraft like that. Okay, so now for the important part. Let's actually give him some radio frequencies. Kind of be universally applied there. One 133, 127, 2667, and 8. 254. And we'll put 2 hinds in. So every hind deserves a friend. And here's where things get interesting. $9K 121 Vikir, 1985 to present. Okay.
Do believe Nixon's in the green room waiting.
Oh, and then we'll pull Nixon right on up. Good morning, Nixon.
Good morning. I am nearly done. All the unit placements are done, all the friendly spawns are ready, except for the helicopters, and I've got to do one little bit of scripting. But nearly there.
Good stuff. Does there happen to be a Vigan on that one?
Happens to be 2 of them.
Oh, nice.
Taking off from the Bass.
Perfect. All right, so the good news is that our AH-80, which is a stand-in for the V-80 helicopter, can actually have almost all of its equipment too.
Good. As a quick rundown, and I'll show you the maps for it and everything. But this one's a fairly simple mission. Our job is to rescue some NATO advisors who were captured by Russian forces and moved to a mining town just outside of the border.
Oh, nice.
We're to go in, wreck the camp, and pull them out. There is, however, an SA-6 site with assorted defenses about 15, 20 miles south of the POW camp will need to be dealt with. The POW camp itself is kind of ramshackle. They established it fast, like they were already occupying this town, and we're like, oh crap, we need to hold someone here. And so they moved in they've been moving in some defenses and extra units for the last few days. But it's nothing like super permanent. Everything there is tracked. There are some tactical radar SAMs there, some armor, a lot of infantry, trucks, things like that we'll have to cut through, of course, where we can land and actually pull these guys out.
Makes sense.
We'll have to destroy the building in which they are being held, of course, to free them.
Get them out, right.
But there's a few things that get down there that could be, so use your judgment.
Yep.
There are some Russian fighters running cap on their side of the border. They shouldn't fuck with you if you don't cross the border. Cross the border and they see you, well, now you've got a problem.
Makes sense.
But there's not an incredibly heavy presence, so even if we just have like one person on cap, we should be able to cut a hole.
Alright, there's the 2 Kamovs. The only other question I've got here is, what else do I put in? Probably be a hip. I'll put 1 hip in.
Yeah. We are looking at longer flight times. Helicopters have to go about 100 kilometers to the thing. Vigans from Bass 100 out are looking at about 180 kilometers to the POW camp.
Yeah.
You guys will be taking out of Kemi Tornio, so you've got a bit of a longer flight ahead of you, going about 300 clicks. We have spawns for two F-15s, two F-18s, two F-16s, two Vigans, and then the normal complement of helicopters
Sounds exciting.
for anyone who will be joining.
Okay, the hip can actually dial its radio into different things. But I'm still
Yes,
going
it
to
can.
set several channels up like I have been for everybody else, because I'm just going to be using copy paste a lot when it comes to placing additional unit groups.
That's the way to do it.
H1H. Client. Take off from ground. Bart Nixon. H1H. Since it's probably femur who's going to be flying it, we're just going to go ahead and put it in the do you even lift loadout that I have. Which is at 112% of max takeoff weight.
He'll probably think you're being easy about it.
Probably so, but I really can't make it any heavier, short of putting troops in it. Okay, channel 1, 266, channel 2, 267, channel 3, 268. 27.5? Can't go that low. Boo. And just for Chief, because it is a small helicopter, we'll put in a Gaz.
Gizzle.
I think the UK green black is not the worst skin to put it in, and that's the one that we saw at Pima, so, you know. Do that.
For which to get the Gazzle? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to trigger Chief with the dipole on it, it's funny. That's how the Brits used it.
IR deflector. Really doesn't need a sand filter out here, does it?
You know it doesn't.
I don't think any of our aircraft really need sand filters on them.
No, we still need the IR suppressors.
Pretty sure it's actually the same skin on one of the gazelles we've got at Sunderland Air Museum as well.
Probably is, considering, you know.
Mm.
It's only painted them so many ways.
I really don't need to do anything payload restriction wise here either. But we will go ahead and remove the tablet and the doors, as it is 1989.
Yeah, no tablet for them. I was about to say, like, why are you moving the Oh, right.
Because it's 1989. That technology was still in its deep infancy.
I mean, you could have taped an Apple Newton to the cockpit. It wouldn't be particularly useful, but you could do it.
Yeah, I could dance on the head of a pin as well, but, you know.
Yeah.
We'll put 2 gazelles in there. For I'm a kind and generous monarch. Usually. Except for the weather. Weather sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, so Fart Nixon is built. 12 miles away from the Russian border. I'm thinking of concentrating most of the rotor objectives around that FARP so I don't have to build like 40 slots for helicopters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really trying to cut down on the number of slots that people have to sort through to get to whatever it is they want to fly. But I am looking to put in some, probably at this fixed forward base. And I don't know if you noticed this or not, if you're watching my local stream. But I found this little decommissioned runway southeast of Munkagorsk.
Is that in the good zone?
No, it's in the bad zone.
Oh.
There is one in the good zone, which I found that too. That was Jock Air Base.
Oh, I might need to send it to you. In this mission, I've actually like traced out like the border and where the current like high quality zone is.
Mm-hmm.
So you have it for reference when you're mission building.
Well, I mean, Jock Base is actually very high quality itself, but it's actually listed as a decommissioned base. And when I was talking to Mander about it late last night when he got home from work, I was like, yeah, man, I found this base. It looks just like the ones we saw in the Vigan videos, but it's decommissioned, so it doesn't have any of the usual supplies built into it for a runway. Like, I would have to place down FARP gear to make these runways useful. He looked me dead in the eyes and went, so it's an IKEA base then.
Yeah. Wow.
It's in Sweden. But the other one that I found is a dirt runway, like that's been completely torn apart. And there are 2 marker beacons for it that are still up.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it. It's just southeast. It is 35 miles southeast of Munkagorsk.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look on satellite mode, you can actually see the dirt runway that's there. And I'm looking to use that as a rotor fart base for forward objectives for deep strikes.
Ooh.
I'm going to need to put another one there
fun.
if I do, like, because I do want to put a mission out there at Polyarny. I do want to put a mission out at Murmansk, that kind of area. So that FARP, that area is way outside of that range. Unless you're about an 83-mile flight to Murmansk, but I don't think so.
I mean, a bit.
If there's things to do on the way, it's one thing. If it's just cruising, like that's another. Oop.
I tend to enjoy the long cruise flights for morning stream, so that is a thing. But yeah, I don't know. That's
yeah. Your mission is about ready to go.
Yeah, it's just about ready to go. Especially if I don't care to add like scripting things to go, hey, you did the thing, congrats.
Right. That reminds me though, I do need to go ahead and, before I even forget it, open splash damage script. Oop.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make that the first one out the gate. I think I'm pretty content with the blue 4 placement right now. Mostly it's just a matter of adding blue FARPs as I need them. But I have the initial spawn set up. And I have the initial medium-sized objective, which are all SAMs. Most of them are SA2s. Because again, I'm looking to make medium objectives, conquerable by like 3 to 4 aircraft. But I do have an SA-11 site out there because that missile system was available since 1985.
It's a spooky one.
Mm-hmm. And if it was going to be anywhere first, it's going to be up here. Now, it is staggering the amount of kit the Soviets are going to have at their disposal.
Well, it's kind of funny because they kind of stopped developing at that point.
Yes. Yeah, no, like they kind of hit their peak and they've just sat there for the last 40 years. But I'm content to put the mission editor down for a little bit here, and I'm ready to start flying whenever you are. Save this again.
I will be ready fairly shortly. Finishing down the helicopter placements.
Got it.
Waypoints are all set for you. I haven't done radio presets for anybody. I don't think that's particularly important for right now.
No, not for the fixed wings especially.
Mm-mm. I mean, we need it for, well, the Heinz need it. That's kind of it.
You do,
Um,
and I did go ahead and hop down here, and I put 1275. I left that one alone because it's just a good MCOM in a lower band that the F-16s can use and also listen to AWACS. But I gave you the AWACS channels for all 3 AWACSs that are up, 133 that I'm using kind of as an auxiliary air-to-ground channel, and 254. And then, of course, you got your Fox mic radio.
yes.
And I did go ahead. I did some digging here shortly before you hopped on. Atakas and all variants are available for you.
And our S8s. That's actually the thing I've been missing the most.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you get S8s, and my default loadout for you. Again, don't worry about it. You can mess it around with whatever you like. Is 6 AT9s, 2 R60s, and 2 pods of S8s.
Mm-hmm.
The Apaches, I made them as much of an Apache A model as I could, which will be fine. The tankers are all cruising in between the cloud layers because it is windy, ugly, and overcast and rainy. It's normal for that time of year for this region. I suppose in an extremely beta format, it might actually be flyable, but I'm not looking to fly it right now because I don't have any ground objectives for the rotors. Other than, you can go take on the SA-11 site or one of the SA-2 sites that are 50 miles away from the spawn. I'm looking to put closer ones there, so it's kind of like a border war. This is what I'm envisioning for the rotors, with deeper objectives if I've just got fixed-wing folks on to fly. Some of the missions for the rotors will be spawnable, but I will put a few of them in there that are like permanent ones, so that way if we happen to be on it, we're like, oh yeah, we're in the middle of a deep strike right now. It's not binding for you guys to just go, oh, okay, I can't do shit then. Gotta wait till that mission's done. But it's looking good. KP's looking real nice.
Good. This is all good.
I also found a way, playing with stuff, that I can actually set 2 boom tankers up in the same group on 2 different frequencies.
Oh.
So they've actually got 2 different TACANs and 2 different frequencies.
I'm trying to find the peninsula on like a real map so I can pull weather data, and I'm having a hard time finding it. American geography skills. Ooh. It might be higher than I'm thinking it is. From Mansk. Oh crap, yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, you know where England is, right? England,
Yeah,
Ireland, UK Isles. You know that large
Mhm.
landmass just to the northeast of it that is Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia?
Yeah,
It's
to the
there.
top of that.
It's the top of that. Mm-hmm. It is way up north.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice too, but like Rovaniemi, that's here, is one of the official residences of Santa Claus.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes
it's
sense.
kind of their little touristy claim to fame, which is fun.
That's cute. It is.
All right, so I need to come up with my individual missions and then start threading triggers together. And I think once I get the trigger framework in place, I can actually
Trigger's right here.
see. No, yeah, you know what I mean, though. Chiefly speaking, you know how I'm catching up to this. So we got a rotor zone there. Some of these areas, because it has not a lot in it, just be interesting to kind of build up with my own little stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Handful of statics and that kind of thing. Or first one force was Cass. Excuse me. Trying to stuff a Pop-Tart in my mouth while I was doing that. They should have an AWACS up as well.
So at higher altitudes in this area,
Mm-hmm.
how does the wind tend to respond from what you've seen, or have you looked into it?
Well, having talked with Chief, the current weather conditions, as of May 1st, or as of 14 hours ago now, the uppermost band, 330, 330 for 28 knots. Middle band, 340 for 15 knots. Oh, you use meters per second, don't you?
I do, so I'm converting it.
All right.
Okay, what was the second one?
The second one
You're
is
talking highest to highest altitude
yes,
going down, right?
highest altitude
Okay.
band going down. So the next highest down is 340 for 15 knots. And since you can't edit the one under it, your lowest band is 5 meters per second at 020. And I'm using
yeah. So I'm using that in combination with what I'm actually getting from reports, like current weather reports.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say all those, or that's the wind is going to, not from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. That should particularly turbulent, you think, or not?
I went with 10 for now.
It's higher than I usually go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the outdoor temperature I put to 6 degrees Celsius.
Okay, it's a little colder from what I'm reading right now. That's fine. That's good. Just baseline. This is where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, let me do splash script. Where's Trigger? Trigger's just sitting here,
I'm still here,
just vibing.
I'm just waiting to fly.
pretty much.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Like we knew when this mission came or when this map came out.
We're all going to be spending a lot of time in the editor.
Yeah.
Yep. It is probably going to be one of the most played maps for me.
Yeah.
I think it will be for just about everybody, especially as they continue to enhance it over time.
Like Palom was showing me that the sheer scale and size, that's a lot of flight time.
Without being the sheer redonkulousness of South Atlantic.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind it though.
Anyone else going to be joining us for this one?
No, I don't know. Nobody else has really shown up to the stream, but depending upon if we get started here in the next couple of minutes or so, I might be able to scare up a vegan driver.
You want to put out a call? Maybe get Chief in?
Chief, I think he might actually still be watching.
Oh, hey, Chief. Do you want to join? I could use another hand.
Seconds there to catch up to the lag on that and then respond. Follow the AWACS 500 feet behind it, 50 feet above it. Gauge all aircraft within 50 nautical miles of it. Yeah, if you want to put out a call and just ping him directly then. Heard anything from him just yet. It's an option.
Do you think Faye would want to play, or are they busy?
I did just put the message out there if you want to give them the direct poke. Take a look. I don't know if they are out and about or getting lunch or what have you, or if they're watching and lurking in the room somewhere. Form command. Switch waypoint. Son of a bitch about escort waypoints like this. Occasionally, escorting aircraft will just reach the end of its line and then go, okay, cool, time to go home.
Faye has just woken up and needs food.
Understood. Totally fine.
That is understandable.
Totally fine. Pair of aircraft. Command and fuel. So escort will remain a factor. Close echelon right formation. These guys' orbit's a little smaller, so that makes more sense. because the map scale in this is huge. Oh no, that was right. It was one about 20-mile spread. Oop. Alright, I'm saved, so whenever it's ready to go, I can just switch over. I'm gonna keep working on this in the meantime. Find little things to have to change and add.
As you do.
Oh, that's an idea. Yeah, this will be good. Right. SSR. Thing. Yeah, you know what the real middle finger is to the MPRS?
Hmm.
Is the IL-78M, which can refuel 3 aircraft at a time.
Can it?
Mm-hmm.
In DCS?
All 3 refueling points work. It starts center and then gets you left and right as you move up to it.
Man.
Okay, so they will have a tanker there. Because I will put a Kuznetsov out here. Will be under Combined Joint Task Forces because, yeah. Okay, that gives them plenty of time. Do it that way. Worst part with it, they don't have a TACAN or anything else like that to set up for their boat. It just kind of is. Go ahead and give it a escort.
Okay. I done.
Excellent.
Well, I should probably put a call drawing things down.
It's 1987 to 1989, so it was available. Okay. Good. I'm just going to build this this group out real quick, and then I will be ready to join. All right, let's actually go fly something on it. Good time.
Good time.
All right,
I'll go ahead and throw it up on the event server, probably.
Okay. Works for me. Stick over into position here.
And I hope you like this one. It's pretty decent, I think.
Absolutely.
Here, it's going up on the server. There's no like worries about like time or anything on this one. Let's just get it done. It's up on the event server. You guys know the password. We joke about it all the time.
Absolutely. Connecting to it now. Yeah, for me, the big thing that I'm trying to wrap my head around with it is the sheer scale of distance on Cola.
Mm-hmm. I tell you, we're just gonna stay in Discord for comms.
Yep.
Okay. That'll work. I need a little bit of time to get set up in bio, and then I will be airborne.
Mm-hmm.
Main thing is we're gonna need a little extra ammo to take down everything at that at the POW camp. It was
Right.
designed for not just me and a hind, so
Got
I'll
it.
need a little help with that. And yeah, the SAM site is backed up by other things, so
Makes sense.
be ready for that.
Request rearming. Copy.
Oh, you know what? Me.
Hmm.
I'll change my loadout here a little bit once it.
Oh, by all means, I just threw something on there that seemed reasonably appropriate for the job.
Right. That's funny. Fart Pirate is just about where I put Fart Nixon.
Is it really?
Yeah. right there in that little salient.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm back in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Request rearming. Copy. Rearming complete.
I'm bringing up a pair of JSOWs trigger.
Okie dokie.
JSOW is a single 2,000-pound JDAM centerline and 6 JDAMs on the CFTs.
I'm bringing up the usual.
Low altitude. Low altitude.
3 MRAMs, a heater, centerline fuel tank, 2 2,000-pounders, and 6 of the 500.
All right, fueled up in coffee, just waiting on the alignment to finish.
Right back.
Welcome back. Adjust my screen brightness down just a little bit. Oh, I have the NVG filters on too. What time of day is it?
Oh, it's early.
Okay.
I should probably take those off. Oops.
That's fine, I got it.
It's usable.
Copy.
Just say the last guy I forgot to take him out. It's immersive.
HMS
It's like a
installed.
lift in the world where people fuck up.
I will have to instruct my crew chief to shoot him.
Correct. Let's simply kill him.
Dum dum dum. Open the canopy. All right, hang on a second. I'm actually gonna open my door. It's a little warm in this room. Right back. All right. This is back on. Track hour is now noticing again. Set my centering. Ready to taxi.
Chief, remove the wheel chocks. Copy.
So I'm unfamiliar with this
Wheel
runway.
chocks are now removed.
Okay. Out left. And then back taxi to the right.
Doesn't seem to be a very complicated runway.
No. Just have to go back and to the left. Oh boy, that is a narrow taxi strip.
Your fate will love it.
Mm-hmm. See, it's funny because you'd never ask for grapes at a lemonade stand. Hello, Trigger.
Hello.
Oh yeah, no, DCS actually handles a lot of its weather fairly well. It'd just be nice if I was able to set the dynamic zones for it so I could have different weather and pressure settings and things over different regions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to come to the right and taxi to the end of the runway and then turn around.
How long do you think you're going to need to get over to the target zone?
We'll let you know as soon as I'm airborne and get stabilized at a travel speed because it'll tell me my estimated time of arrival.
Ooh.
I do like that a lot of these runways have amber lights for the last third in either direction to tell you when the end of the runway is coming up. Because if you, I don't know if you looked at them or not, but if you get all the way down on the tarmac, most of these are not on completely level terrain.
This is my second time loading into this map in 3D. I did once briefly to check what a land formation next to POW camp looked like. Because I don't think I've seen anything like that in DCS. It wasn't like a bug, so that was cool. It's nice. You'll see it.
All right, turn around hard for 3-6.
Oh, damn it. I made a hot start by accident. I'm an idiot.
Oh man, I have to take away your hind card now. And roll forward a little bit to give Trigger some room.
You good?
Okay. Here we go.
Two's rolling.
Yeah, they do respond to wind speed and direction there, Sterry. Alright, flaps and gear are up. Set up for my usual cruise parameters there. It's looking like about 25 to 28 minutes.
Okay.
Still in the cloud layer at 5,000 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Breakthrough at 9,000 feet. God, that's pretty. A soft, white, fluffy blanket.
Oh wow, you weren't kidding.
Okay, setting my bingo for 6,000 pounds. Rather than my usual 4. New estimate's about 20 minutes there, Nixon.
Sounds good. I'm taking my time, so I want you guys to be kind of stylish by the time I'm rolling up.
Makes almost too much sense.
It's not like you guys can be short for loiter time.
No, we'll be fine. I'm actually leveling the jet off here. Because if I go any higher, I'm going to be in the next cloud layer. And backing off the throttle to cruise. I'll leave my lights on until you're up with me, Trigger.
Yep, on the way. Pretty much conning already as well.
It's very cold, so that makes sense.
It's the summer. It's above 0. It's great. That's all you're getting.
Basically. Performance seems alright though, even with the stream.
It's a bit low for me on the ground. I'm good. Like, I'm running at 30 frames, whereas on like Syria, I'm usually at like in the at the 50 mark.
Mm-hmm.
But rain does seem to hurt my frames more. So maybe once I'm in flight and the rain drops and stuff are not so much there, it'll spike back up a bit. No, 30 is still perfectly playable,
Right.
but it is a bit lower.
Yeah, nice little rotor base. It makes sense, bestiary. Lots of little airports like that kind of take care of that kind of crowd. I got you back there.
Yep, slowly catching.
Alright, I'm gonna take off now.
About 11 minutes out. It's waypoint 1, right?
The one to the south is your SAM site. Double check your waypoints. I believe I swore I did, but
I do have a 2 alpha. It looks like it's turning me right slightly north. When I get closer, I'll look at it with the radar.
don't forget this is a populated area, so civilian traffic are around.
Mm-hmm. Doing about 395 knots, Trigger.
Copy. Couple screenshots there.
Important.
Mm-hmm. Lights are out. "69 miles, 7 minutes to go."
Nice. 75 clicks.
"57 miles. I should have radar range here in a couple of minutes."
69 clicks.
Nice. Well, I'm thinking about it. Okay, there is an ILS. 110.90. But no TACAN at Kimi. (10.9). ILS is set for the return trip.
110.9, you said?
Correct.
Set.
And by the looks of it, that is for runway 36. So the same direction we took off from.
Now, granted, it's a little foggy and rainy and snowy, so I'm not getting a super clear view. But like in mission conditions, like ground textures look fine over here.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Master arm on, combat spread.
2.
I'm going to roll out here to the right and get angles on that first waypoint.
Yeah, you guys are the one. Yeah, you're looking to the SA6. That's good.
2 fenced in, steered 20.5.
Scout is vigorously nuzzling my collective hand. Aw, silly cat.
Mod SA6. I have the site.
Yep, eyes. Both 2,000 pounders ready.
Okay. I'm going to drop both my JSOWs on it. And you'll drop your 2,000 pounders. I'll save my 500s for dealing with anything else.
All right. Diving down.
Climbing high. All right. Light weapons. Pigs away. Braking left. 2 minutes to impact, so that should give you plenty of time to get down and hopefully have the SA-6 site track it instead of you.
Okay, Scout, I need you to move away from that cable because my collective is attached to that. Ooh.
18 miles. Kicking in the burner.
Minute 30 to impact.
Popping.
Damn, your bombs are going to get there long before these JSOWs do. But they might they might actually distract the site if they're looking at it.
Bombs off.
What's your TTI?
40 seconds.
Oh, they're going to get there about the same time. Good luck, SA-6 site. Ooh, they are shooting at my JSOWs. I think they hit one too. Skeets have hit. Oh, they so dead.
Oh.
Good work, Trigger.
Oh, good kills. Good kills.
Ooh.
All right, extending, and I'm going to take a look at waypoint 2 there.
Remember, don't blast the buildings. If our guys are in them and they rush out, they're just going to get gunned down by everyone who's still there.
Planes in hand, I'm extending
Zooming
to the
back.
west. Mud on an SA-8 site.
I'm currently zooming back up to altitude.
Roger. I'm pushing out southwest. Try and aim for about 40 nautical miles. And then turn back around so I can look at the site with the radar. How's that for a radar engagement, folks? Didn't even look at it with a T-pod.
Nope.
All done.
All weather, baby.
I can see like 5 clicks in front of me.
It's comfy.
Ish.
Good execution on that, though, Trigger.
Yeah, felt good on that one.
Fantastic, iHort. You have won the award for non sequitur of the day.
What?
Well, you know, tomorrow iHort is making dinner for the tabletop game.
Mm-hmm.
He has acquired the ribs, which apparently have exquisite marbling on them. Like, here we are
I think
doing...
I see the camp just outside the town.
Roger. And I'm about 30 miles out. I'm turning back around. You did. It's just hilarious that that's what you start up with rather than like a hello.
The ribs are marbled.
I mean, it's very important information, don't get me wrong. The ribs, Carl. Ribs are marbled. They're marbled ribs, Carl.
Hey, you said don't target any buildings, Nix?
Yeah, like any would house people you can't see. If it's like an outpost building or something where like, you know, it's open top, then by all means. But if you can hold prisoners there, maybe don't.
See a small concentration down there.
Already at the gimbal limits. That's lame.
Whether these are targets or not, I couldn't say.
Let's zoom in and take a closer look.
Zoomed in as far as it'll go.
Ooh, alright. I'm getting some resolution there. 3, 2, 1. Bing bong. I see a building and some other ancillary structures and potential vehicles. Start marking targets here for the 500-pounders.
Remember, watch your fire.
Yeah, I'm not going to put anything on top of the building at all.
Cool. And if you can smack that SA-8, that will make my life much easier.
Well, I think I know how opposing radars actually look when I'm looking at them with the radar, so there's good odds I might actually have his ass.
Ooh. It simulates that?
Yeah, there's a bright horizontal line when you're in line with an opposing radar.
Oh, that's cool.
Alright, I got all 6 of mine programmed ready to go.
Alright, I'm 20 clicks out. I'm just gonna hold here until you guys have done your thing.
Ready to roll in anytime.
Programming the last of the bombs now. Couple of other concentrations of targets that I was looking to get as well. Alright, program 2 is up, air-to-ground master mode is on. Rolling for it.
Rolling in.
15 miles.
26.
I've got one bomb that's going to land southeast of the building structure. Because that seems to be where that SA-8 might be hiding, is in that vicinity. I've tried to put it a little
got
further
a couple outside the building as well.
Okay, we are allegedly in range. In zone. Ripple 7. All bombs away. 55 seconds to impact. Oh, really? Really?
Hmm.
DCS just crashed. I hope that doesn't make my bombs disappear. It very likely could. Damn it.
Well, I saw one bomb off the rail. Oh,
Well,
it's gone now. Yeah.
All right, Trigger, it's all you. Damn, that is deeply sad.
All right, Ripple 6.
Think you got the SA8 in your markers?
I think so, yeah. The one Pylon mentioned just before, I'm pretty sure that's the same one of my bombs is gunning for as well.
Wait.
Right, setting for Steer Point Bravo, RTB. I got nothing on board.
Do you have any air-to-air weapons?
Do still, yes.
Stick around.
All right, sticking around.
There is enemy cap in the area. I don't know if they've noticed just yet, but if they do,
When the enemy cap notices you. Join. And back to DCS. That sucks. Just got to the point of releasing those bombs. It's a good setup, too.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, when you're looking down at the sites like that, in the air-to-ground radar for the Strike Eagle in particular,
Looks like the 8 might be down.
you actually get the little glints from any other emitters that are down there as the frequencies overlap and interfere with one another. Like it actually picks that out, which is kind of nice. I'm sure iHort will correct it and actually give me the proper terminology for it, but that is kind of the nice touch for that, is that you can actually see those things. Helps you pinpoint what you actually want to look for when you can't see it. You get kind of the same thing in the Vigan too, to be honest. Like if you're chasing down boats and things, if they have their jammers and whatnot on.
Mm-hmm. All right. Moving in. 18 clicks.
Hello there.
Hello there.
I'm in your back seat. Wanted to talk to you about your vehicle's extended warranty.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever had to accept it.
I didn't have a choice.
I think I have the IFF set up correctly.
Now, if you don't, I'll judge you for it in a minute. Guns and low rate.
Copy.
Yeah, you just missed the civilian one was all.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me change that for some reason.
You don't have to change, you just have to tick it on. It's on the right.
Hmm.
You have M1, M2, which is set in the mission editor. M1 and M3 you can set yourself, and then M2 and MC are built in.
Huh.
All right, sir. You're in good shape. Looking at the target area now through the pod as we get little gaps in the cloud.
Got blown off course. I'm readjusting.
I'm just going to take a minute and look down there at this camp just to see if what I saw was right when I was looking in at the radar earlier before I had a crash. Oh yeah, no, Trigger, that was totally the vehicle I was targeting. Good job.
Hell yeah.
It was in fact the SA-8 on the southeast corner of that building. Good kill. Those fuel trucks were what I would have targeted and knocked out. And that outpost would have bit it too if my bombs actually would have went in there. Son of a bitch. Hate it when it does that. Otherwise, though, that was a fantastic attack.
Rifle tank.
Good hit. Looks like damage to other nearby structures as well.
Extending out, there was something closer that was engaging me. If none of you have any bombs left, we might need one to do a thing.
I mean, I could come up with
Nope.
bombs. I'd just be 20-ish minutes out.
That's fine.
That's all he works, Trigger.
Okie dokie.
Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and come up the fast way.
Rifle IFE. Oh, that's a 30 mil. Got him.
Request rearming. Copy.
What the fuck was that?
Arming complete.
Breaking.
Low altitude.
Copy.
Low altitude.
HMS installed.
HMS, it's my damn visor.
All right, I think I see that group up close. It's giving me, it's harassing me. I'll try and rocket them. God, I keep losing them in the fog. There they are. Yeah, I think that got him.
Chief, remove the wheel chocks. Copy. Wheel chocks are now removed.
Alignment's complete. Rolling up.
See you soon.
Got a long way to go. A short time to get there.
At least you're capable of going Mach fuck off.
Yeah, but 176 miles at Mach fuck off is very limited on the gas to come home.
Fair. Rifle, tank. Got him.
I'm seeing fire coming from the main building.
Hit T90 and BTR-82, spotted. Rifle 82. Ah, damn it, Patrick. Shit, shit, shit. Right there. My engine RPM dipped. Or my rotor RPM dipped. It cut power to my weapons. That missile was in flight.
Oops. Rotor RPM low.
It actually gets pretty low out here.
Believe it.
I took off a bit overweight, but that should mostly be a non-factor by now. Alright, turning back in. Shoot the fucking missile anyway, Petrovich. Come on. God damn it. Pulling off.
Thanks to the sheer lunacy that is the F-15, I'm in a 15-degree climb at 26,000 feet above Mach 1 with full combat load.
See you in a minute.
Let's get myself in level flight here.
Rifle, 82. Got him.
Supersonic, be there in 15 minutes.
Coming in for a T-90. Rifle. Got him.
Mach 1.25. $11 minutes. Mach 1.3. .4.
Rockets outpost.
I feel like I'm sprinting out here to just do one bomb and go home.
Pretty much. That's actually, in fact, exactly what's going on. You should call your ISP and complain about it.
No, they don't listen.
I mean, fair, but you could.
I could go running down the street in nothing but a bathrobe too, and I'm not going to do it, so. Alright, tanks are empty. Tanks are gone. Mach 1.45.
Because the spoiler alert this, I have not implemented randomization for like where the guys can spawn, so I put them in the bunker. I can't kill a bunker.
Makes sense.
Though I was not anticipating the cloud cover to be as oppressive, so I figured you'd be able to like scope out the air and go, "Oh, hey, there's a bunker there. That looks suspicious. We should save a bomb for that." But as we know, that is not how that went.
It's good though, because the mission that I'm building is basically the same weather conditions.
Mm-hmm.
God, I feel like Langley right now.
Why?
I'm at 39,000 feet in full AB.
All right, I'm gonna turn RTV then. Since I can see you, you're pretty close.
Yeah, 74 miles up. Mach 1.55 and rising. I've not stopped accelerating.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. So is my target the building that was in that ring?
You can kill those buildings too, but there's a bunker offset from the camp by a little bit. On an it's still along the ridge of the pit.
All right, I'll see if I can see it with the radar. Standard 2,000 pound JDAM should be enough to get through it.
Yeah.
North 1.7. Hilarious how fast this thing is going.
Oh, you could totally still put a bomb in that group of houses. There's still a couple left.
Hello there.
Hello. Gotta go fast.
Yeah, I'm sitting at about 1.5 myself.
Okay, coming out of the autopilot and offsetting left. Okay. I have the houses.
All right. Should be west of that, like northwest, along the rim. There's 2 burning vehicles next to it and the bunker itself.
Fire astonishingly doesn't show up on the radar,
I mean, fair.
but I think I have your target area slightly northwest on the very corner of the town.
Yeah. That's it.
That looks like it's got a shadow there. I'm getting ready to lose it. Let me roll back into it a little bit.
How does the pit look in your radar?
Like the little ring of buildings?
No, the pit.
Oh,
The massive fucking pit.
I can see the ridge line.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
It can actually shows me the shadows on the ridge line and everything else.
That's cool.
It's cool. Alright, I'm going to save my last 2 500-pounders just in case this doesn't happen to be the target.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure that it is. Turning for it now. Pickle, big boy bomb. And pickle several smaller bombs to finish off other targets. Oh yeah, no, I can actually pick out a lot of detail on that pit. Holy crap. I just controlled F11 down to look at it. And I'm pretty sure I did in fact target the bunker. Little bombs have hit their targets. Big boys on terminal. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's a green flare.
Have I mentioned that I love this radar?
Only a few times. Are all your bombs hit?
I've got 2 more left, but all the important ones are down there, yeah.
Okay. Make sure not enough to fly over an explosion.
No.
Okay.
I like that little cold air, Nixon. That's a good choice.
Thank you.
I might, in fact, have to use that.
I was tempted to put the SAM sight in it. I was worried that would nerf it too much.
Probably so. It does the same job as the hill. It really limits where its altitude floor is.
What
Like
you
it-
could do though is have like a sand pit around the caldera and have like a main objective in the middle that you need to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the advice, Trigger.
You're welcome.
Come on.
And it crashed again. That's sad. That's not a thing with Cola, and it's just a matter of, I'm actually running the stream at the same time I'm doing it. But, we're actually at a good point in that, so I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is mute up here for a minute. Take care of everything else. All right, well, thanks for watching there, folks. We're over our time a bit, but that's okay. Totally fine there with all of that. It's been a great run here so far, exploring the Kola Peninsula map. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through our usual things there for the week. First, enjoy all my followers, all my subscribers. It really does make the channel grow and everything go around. So if you are interested in that, you have Bezos bucks to spend. Remember, you do get a free subscription to a channel of your choice. If you have Amazon Prime, just have to link it to your Twitch account there. And otherwise, if you would like to tip, you certainly can over at coffee.com/PylamJRomar. And we'll actually use that money for coffee. I enjoy my tasty coffee. It's good stuff. You can catch this and other VODs on the YouTube channel at PylamRomar. Our week-to-week upcoming events, we're going to be changing to DCS Monday instead of Helldivers there starting at 6 p.m. with classic games at 9. Friday night, we have Arma 3 playing at Stasi starting at 6 p.m. And, of course, Saturday mornings at 9 a.m., we're doing this at DCS. It's been a great sort of adventure here so far. Unfortunate that it gave me the crashes that it did. But, that's probably just a little bit of teething issues with a new map, which is okay. Other than that, folks, always ask for consent. Try to communicate as best you can with your partners. Try to be genuinely decent human beings. And I will catch up with you later on. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.